And we're back. Map number 2 on the docket. The pick of the Timbermen if they want to stay in Season 44 of ECL. They're facing off against Strife on the other end, looking to break through the upper crust here in North American Counter-Strike and really take it to the big dogs. My name is Fine. Join me, Cole Extra McHenry. Let's get this one on.
What do they have cooked up for us here on keeping themselves alive here in ECL playoffs? They've got a quick A exec here coming on through, and the dualies start to sing for 2. Somehow, Stamina has bought so much time and 2 kills. We'll see if that suffices in this 3v4 here as they look to take CT control.
All right, CT control, though, is very awkward as they were just running into Joel's. Heads turned away from the flash, but also away from Joel's and the rest of Strife. The cleanup crew is here. It's another pistol round for this unit.
That's wild right there. They tried to take that ground by throwing that flash, but in looking away from the flash, they turned their head away, and that complicated it so much. Strife going to pull through successfully with that retake. Rather easy for them as well. But that's also good work from Stamina, right? I mean, the fact that he gets spotted out so early, and they start to halls pop as well. They're coming in from a couple different locations, and he still finds a way to find 2. That is, that's some really good work from him, and I'm sure he knows it. That's some confidence being built from him early on, which, like we had said, man, with the amount of opening picks that he had found in that last map, you probably do want him as confident as can be.
Oh, yeah. And on the other side, Timberman, Dare will be the man to look out for. He was performing as ever, as he always does, for his squad, but just simply said, I don't think the macro game was really there for Timberman. Fell into a lot of CT side setups out of Strife. Couldn't convert the late rounds. But he's going to be super impactful on the openers. Once he gets that AWP in hand, but even on the rifles, he's solid. Let's see what the MP9 can do, though, as Snakes chews through the first of Shane, drops the smoke, gets out, locks out Timberman. That's a man advantage rolling for the CT side.
Everyone was blind by that flash. There wasn't a single soul not catching the fade right there, and Snav catches it as well. As Snakes finds a second. Now Palace is smoked, so he gets on top of the balcony. And they're just falling one by one here as they make the move on out towards A.
Yeah, Snakes in such a power position again. Has the flashbang, and it's going to work out wonders. A triple kill out of Snakes. So much money generated. Let's not even forget that. And it just leaves Dare in a 1v4. Position noted as well. He is completely triangulated, or I guess squared upon. Right now, as all 4 players are surrounding him, looking to battle himself out of a clutch. God forbid that previous map, but he's getting flanked out by Jules. And I don't see him sticking around for much longer here, as he'll get finished off eventually. It's going to be a second round for Strife, and the 4 spy goes nowhere for Timberman.
That's just such a sick setup right there from Snakes, man. I love the sort of resources that Strife are willing to give your anchor. Usually, you're on an island. You don't get a lot of support like this. But right now, he gets second flashbang there. He gets a smoke from one of his B rotates as well towards Palace. I mean, he was getting a lot of love right there, and it actually shows in the round. You know, what he's able to do. Imagine, you know, if you're like a usual team and you do what a lot of rosters are willing to do, which is just leave that A-bomb site, you know, to one player. He'll have to be a really, like, confident anchor. You can't make many mistakes. Well, then the likelihood that Snakes just gets, you know, walked out on, crept from A ramp, and then lurked out of Palace, that's what so many teams fall victim to right there. But Strife, they give him some extra help there, and Snakes, he capitalizes off of it perfectly.
You know, in my opinion, Snakes had a couple rough series for himself, but lately he's had some real solid maps underneath his belt. Maps that he's been able to power his team over the line, get some impactful multi-kills. He's playing a lot of the more difficult roles on this Strife unit. You know, even coming back from quite the hiatus when he was the hot stuff here in North America back in 2018, nearly 5 years ago. He's playing the difficult roles, and he's getting the job done. He's starting to have a lot of good maps for himself, despite, you know, the overall rating not looking pretty. Like, don't leave this man in the dust, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he's definitely been, like, foundationally changed when Stamina's come into this roster as well. So that's what you mean, right? When the roles have kind of swapped, he's no longer on the op anymore as well. So he's been dealt a pretty tricky deck of cards here, and like you said, starting to show and more soundly bring together some really good games.
Oh.
But might have cursed him there a little bit.
There.
Yeah, off angle as well, man. So that's a nice shot from Shane.
I mean, it's super possible right now. Stamina swinging in towards A main, and this is where they're getting just about to gamble stack that B site. Oh, it couldn't feel worse here for Strife.
They're out A.
Yeah, and Stamina, no. Oh, he does get the spot in towards Sandwich. He might spot at multiple players. That could show up on the mini-map as a couple of blips on that radar, and no way Shane is going to get away with this.
Oof.
But another headshot comes through from Snap. He's awake, kicking on this map. But Frags rolling on through, systematic from Eris, and it's just leaving Snap. Now that's 2 Deagle headshots downrange, but not any more than that. Still some dollar damage out of Timbermen, still keeping it scary for sure, and also making us eat our words. But 3-0 for Strife.
Yeah, not a bad round right there. Bomb plant, 3 kills. That's again what you could ask for right there. And I think what's so critical there is like you had said there, Snap warming up, or at least getting himself 2 easy frags to at least start chunking through some of that KD from last map, or some of that memory from last map, right, where he didn't have the best of games. Now he's able to come into this one, you know, immediately landing some good shots here, starting to remember, hey man, the mechanics are there, I can deliver. So that's a key detail here. But oh, Stamina best there early on. He goes for seconds. He has to be careful though. Frankie over in Valley towards middle is going to get frag on the player underpass there, and we go back to a man advantage as they surface up catwalk and find another.
Yeah, that was a really nice play there from Eris, kind of taking advantage of the chaos from Connector to snap up a kill in towards that mid position. Timberman unaware. The angle from Eris, he only takes the dink through the edge of the wall. Unlucky there for Snav. Well, that's just how Counter-Strike is. You'll have to wait for Counter-Strike 2 to come out for that to be a kill.
Is that real? The new wall bangs?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, better hit registration, better tick rate. What can I say?
There you go. Look forward to that. Right now, looking forward towards that A bomb site here. The issue is this Palace position is so incredibly strong. Now, this could be anticipated here. Once you start to realize that there's no one on this A bomb site, that's when in the back of your mind, you start to think about where CTs could be. But Stamina's going to disrupt that Infinite even further there.
Oh.
They just dispatch with the last 2 players standing there. Timbermen sidelined, and Strife, they get off to another one of these very strong starts.
This is looking quite dominant right now for the guys over at Strife. I mean, Stamina just outright beat Dare on that angle. Not a lot of people can do that. Like, Dare was perfectly set up for the play. He was ready for it, too. And still lost out. A definite shaky start. Not just out of Timberman, but Dare, as that win condition, needs to be turning up in these op duels. Because if things keep going that way, then things will be tough.
Yeah, I mean, Dare was like the shining light in that last series. So you see him start things off with the first gun round, gets just smoked by Stamina in the connector peak. Like, I mean, he was ready for that peak, but he wasn't ready for Stamina's fury, it seemed. Interesting little boost here, Stamina. Oh, they just nailed this timing here beautifully. Silently in towards window they go. Tricky to anticipate that, but that's a nasty angle from Eris held out there from catwalk. He's going to deliver here, and now Stamina, we'll see how careful he is. He was able to find him. That's unreal. Stamina clears out the window position.
All right. But Snakes Makes his way back in towards the ticket booth, and Stamina's gonna snipe another. Oh my goodness, the setup is just too good. Out of the Timberman, and Stamina just can't miss. 5-zip for Strife. And that is just a simple wrap. These rounds are starting to look confident. Sure, it's against a half-buy, but just the manner in which they are winning these rounds, the shots that Stamina is hitting at the moment, in not just the map of Inferno, but here on this CT side, these guys are deadly. And last time we were with these two teams, it was just T sides for both of these squads. It was a lead squandered by Strife. But this is a different tale right now.
Yeah, telling a whole different story. The defense has been on lock. And again, maybe this is kind of a testament to Strife putting in some work here. And the the time that they've had off. They've had a little bit of a week since that last matchup that they played out. So doing some research, figuring out some tendencies. You can see it formulate quite nicely for success here. Mid control here, flashbang get into it, but Jules maybe a little bit too ambitious with the sort of default that Timbermen are bringing out to the table right there. They were letting that one fall right into their hands. That was exactly what they were waiting for, that top of mid aggression, and Timbermen collect.
Yeah, Eris looking to just give up that mid position. But it's a good bit of utility drop. That smoke towards bottom connector could deter Timbermen for just a little bit longer. Or that could just invite them up to catwalk, and Infinite is about to have a real tough time about things as this B split begins to rumble through. The mollies and the likes. Infinite really needs a fight. He needs a kill to buy himself some space, and he just walked right into Droid. And that's going to be the B site and a save, consequently. And the first round for Timbermen.
So a very nice round right there. One defaulting kill found towards the top of middle. They're waiting patiently for that exact sort of setup right there. Falls right into their hands. And then like you had said there, Infinite, he needed to take a fight. He might have needed to take it a little bit earlier, but he also needed desperately some rotations to come through. And Strife started to gamble towards that A side as opposed to B. Sometimes that's the risk that you take there, and this sort of lead's not too big of a worry. What I like the most here, and this is what, again, I feel like Stamina's teams do a lot better than other NA teams, is they immediately call the save in the 3v5. They, see if Infinite can pull through. If he gets like 2 kills right there, if he gets a multi-frag and then traded, that's when you can go for the retake right there. It's, a 3v3. But once Infinite goes down, instantly save. You saw the immediate reaction to reject that that retake right there. And Strife, it's going to alleviate some of that economic pressure.
Yeah, Timberman took just the linear approach. Get that execute down and convert this one. This is looking like a speedy play. We've seen these rush smokes tossed in towards Get Right and that catwalk side. But Eris doesn't hear a single footstep, so he's not buying any of this at the moment. Fake, though. It's a fake. They slow it down. Now they're going to jump out. As these smokes begin to fade, Eris turns his attention, does not know where to look, as Shane is going to find that entry. This is a cool strategy out of Timberman. They find the entries and make it work.
My God. Absolutely deleting that B presence right there. Infinite and Eris can offer up no reply, no resistance at all given to them. And Timberman quickly surfaced for a second. 2 flawless rounds in a row from them as well. I say flawless. One could go down here or another exit kill. Oh, Jules. You got to make sure you land that frag quickly, or otherwise he has time to strike, and they give him that. So, not flawless, but I would say in terms of the execution, exactly what you need as Timbermen start to scale back into this T side. We'll see if this can continue.
This is the same amount of CT side rounds, though, that Strife picked up in their previous matchup. I mean, they could already feel just a bit comfortable with maybe an extra 1 or 2 for themselves. Because I remember watching back on that Mirage. It was some really solid T-side calling out of stamina. He actually manipulated the Timberman defense, but just simply didn't have enough room to work with. Buying themselves some extra breathing room here. Perhaps could Strife. But now, right now, Timberman, they're just going out onto these sites, completely disrespecting that middle position, and they're just in. Snakes, he's looking over for a kill. Up above, Spam dropping through. He's taking a lot of damage, but still survives and allows enough room to get this plant going for the Timberman. It's a 5-on-5.
Snakes on low HP though. He had a flash from Eris. As soon as the 2 flashes from Timberman landed, he was able to throw that encounter. So the only one blinded up was Droid here. So now they make their move in it. Dare has yet to frag, so this is his chance to strike.
Oh, and there it is. First kill on the board there for Dare. Another one for him. He starts to rattle off these shots, but Stamina beats him on the angle again. Now it's just Shane in the 1v3, and he's gonna put it together. 20 points of health, and another clutch for Timberman. This time a Mirage to really get the gears going.
Oh, no one able to put him down right there. He was on such low HP, but he gets away with 3 frags right there. Absolutely wild. What a round brought by Shane. Hand delivered. A third right there. And pressure looming right now. Somehow Strife have managed to get another purchase. I don't know how. Absolutely wild that they can still bring in another investment. That's all the saving that's been done, I guess. But oh my god! Stamina's been doing good work with the op, but that is a nasty entry right there. And Eris, he doesn't want anything to do with Frankie's position right now. And I understand why.
That was a monster shot. Yeah, that was the AWP too. Snakes is going to go ahead and scoop that one up. But now Strife have to turtle back away into the sites. Where once again, Timbermen have just been demolishing the B end of things. Now the flash is a bit awkward. I don't think Strife are even remotely interested in this. They're going to pack their bags yet again. And Timbermen, they're now 4 rounds in a row. And they are finally breaking this Strife economy. They can get this T-side finally rolling on their map pick.
Yeah, now this would be the second flawless round. And one of the other rounds was a round where 4 people were alive. You got the clutch factor in as well, and this is Timberman that we know on the T side. This is what we know we can see out of them. The capabilities finally formulating. Right there, just one statement made. Only one shot necessary from Frankie. Right on the head of Strife. That completely scares him, and right now I feel like if you're Timberman, you know you're in a position where you just have you've destroyed the confidence of that 5-0 start so quickly.
Oh no, and Jules also loses his gun towards the end of it. Alright. Yeah, and so Strife, they had a lot of gusto in them early in this game. Stamina, consistently winning op duels against Dare. So many opening kills, so many opening brawls, but Timbermen have switched up the strategy. They've been hitting these bomb sites extremely quickly. They've been catching these side anchors of Strife off guard. But they're going to switch up the pace yet again. They're going to go back to what they started with. Some of these slower defaults, working these extremities of the maps. Trying to condition their opponents here are Timbermen.
Have to figure out a way to silence the momentum here. All these BXX though, it makes, I imagine them feel like that B-side is soon to be tested once more. Joel's gets stuck in towards Palace, but now the bomb is dropped, and oh, Dare gets caught as well. They find some success there on the B side, a lot of success.
What?
Droid has just single-handedly cleared out B, and in the bottom of Con, Snakes just takes his fight.
Oh, okay. Well, that was a 2v4. A bit of a dud there from Strife, who just ripped apart whatever that A execute was. But then Droid dropped out of the B site, double entry them. Frankie killed both mid players, and surprise, Strife win that round. Well then, Or rather, Timbermen do. And Strife now are on the back foot. They're completely broke. Timbermen are back into this half. They're with 5 in a row. Their money is overflowing. It's Strife who are on the back foot, and I said, oh, they only need 1 or 2 more rounds to make this a good half. Well, with this kind of momentum, that's going to be a tough ask.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, Timberman could do no wrong. Right there. Because Strife are making so many clinical errors. But I don't even know what happened on that B-bomb site to judge too much. I just think maybe Droid had a really good round. But then Snakes in that 1v2, I feel like he just gave it up. Going for that con fight. He has the bomb in the palm of his hands, but he just swings for the fences in like the most unfavorable angle you could ask for in the game. There's a headshot angle right there on top of connector. It's wild. Bit weird to see. And Strife are slowly but surely losing that grip and probably going to lose their lead here. Stamina doesn't want to stick around too long towards middle.
I mean, the crossfire setup, though, here from Strife. I mean, it's looking excellent. Snakes just playing the bait angle. And Joel's the switch. Clear is there, though. It didn't quite work as intended. Now Molly's in hand and just bulldoze our Strife on the entry. Yes, so many low HP bars, but even then, there would have been trades anyways. That is just a systematic execute from Timberman. The spacing immaculate. It couldn't get better than that.
Not at all. Droid with a double entry once again. Shane helping out as well. Like you said, just bashing through the defense right there. That'll suffice. Infinite saving of 5-7 errors on a FAMAS. And one thing to notice, with all of the saves that have been taking place since like the 7th round or so, the money has been a little bit awkward for Strife. That's probably a little tiny smidgen of the factor here, but I think for the most part, the main key is kind of in Strife's head. They're getting stuck in. They're starting to feel like nothing can go their way, so they're playing like it as well. And I don't know if Timberman can be stopped at this point with how they're looking. I've seen one too many rounds where they just storm their way through what I feel like maybe unfavorable positions.
Yeah, and you know, we talked about Bear being a win condition, but you don't really need him when the rest of your squad is just absolutely entering the daylights out of every bomb site. And I think Eris is dead man here. No way he expects Frankie in this position as he transfers the spray onto Snakes. Infinite. Oh my goodness, he couldn't even convert the kill. Frankie, he's being such a nuisance right now. Only Joel's on that A site. He's the one piece of resistance right now. He picks up an AK, yes. How much can he make do with that? It's all of a sudden a 3v3. There are actually opportunities. Now, Joel's, his HP doesn't really help him in this situation. Neither do the flashbangs. But he survives and is actually being a thorn in the side right now to Strife.
Ooh,
Until that happens.
Shot range
Dare on the cover.
There.
Yeah, pristine. Starting to warm up. The nade touches down. Timbermen make that 7 rounds in a row. And just as things get a little bumpy, Timbermen smooth it right out.
As expected. And this is such a clean round right there for Frankie. That second kill, man, just beautiful. Timbermen on 7. They were 5-0 down. Honestly, it looked like they were falling out of control of this game, but all they needed was one round to spark some new life here. Joel's going for the Furiette play. Nard out here showed this on his Twitter. You smoke underpass, you immediately aggress forward. But this is much more aggression than maybe even Fury bargained for. They're taking all of apartments here.
Just stack up everything. Oh my goodness. I mean, Joel's, take your time. Take your time. First kill is his. Dare has his knife out. Joel's instant on the next, and thanks for the bomb while we are at it. Joel's about to get shot in the side of the head, I believe, or not. He spins on to snap for the next. He is puppy guarding that bomb right now. And there is just simply no feasible way Timbermen can win this round. They are going to have to fight through every single corner of Mirage.
Taking a weird approach to it as well. Because bomb is down on the other side of the map, and they're just kind of clearing CT, they're clearing jungle, right? But this isn't really something that they can afford to do in this sort of position. They kind of do have to just run it down towards that bomb and hope that they can land some shots and expect the angles that they're playing right now. But jump spotting from Joel's is going to be the perfect counter to any sort of like heroic maneuver. There's some information. One player spotted outside of Palace here. Now encouraging them forward. Headshot angle taken, but there's not enough time to actually win this round is the issue. You can go and grab the bomb, but you can't make it to a bomb site.
Yeah, that seems to be the problem here. So Frankie, I guess he has the bomb, but yeah, no sight. And finally breaking that deadlock is Strife. Interesting call. Shoving all the way through the apartments, and it leads to this double kill from Joel's. Some nice stuff. It's perhaps a gimmick, but I'm not sure how often that could happen again. Either way, I mean, you might be happy enough with this for Strife. You have some breathing room to work at T side if they can replicate what they did earlier on last time these two teams met. As they're trying for it again. That's not gonna work. Oh, man. Timbermen catch on to it.
It's the only thing that's worked in the last 7 rounds, so I guess I could kind of understand. I'm just trying to repeat the same strategy, but like you said, it's a little bit too easy to read right there from Frankie. He does almost go down to it, but still able to win out that duel. He's been winning out a lot of duels for his team as well. Adding another name to the list there. Joel's no longer the hero that Strife needed. He's watching from the sidelines here as this time Snake's left on an island. He doesn't have the support here. It's Stamina unsure if he wants to stick around or not.
Still very doable, though. Smokes are going to begin to rain in. Stamina, not blinded at all. Instant shot onto Droid, untraded. And Snake's trying to get some support flashes from Stamina. It's excellent, but it doesn't net a kill. Now Stamina, he's battling inside the site, but Dare somehow spots him underneath his own smoke. The 2 versus 3, and Snap is gonna nail down the next stand. Dare the follow-up. It's 8-6 right now as the guys over at Timbermen get things rolling.
That they do.
Checking out some of the replays earlier on this half while we fix things up in front of you all.
And there we go. I think kicked off here. Nice little pistol round action. Again, we should be getting that sorted here soon. But we're going to see a story of, I guess, 2 quarters. One that looked so strong for Strife, but now Timbermen are just storming through things. And you do wonder, like, what the sort of switch was flipped in the back of the minds of Timbermen to get him to this point, right? Because he's down to 0-5. I was thinking, no chance do they show this sort of depth, this sort of strength here. But they were able to just light up instantly on a turn of a dime. You know, 1 round found, and that was the spark that ignited this team.
Yeah, all things said, though, there were some really, really big moments that came out of Timbermen that got them back into this game. Can they keep it going? We'll find out after this. Might have happened off screen, but it's the reality we live in. Strife, they stabilized a little bit. The game was looking like it was out of their hands for a while, but they brought back those last 2 CT side rounds to pull it back to an 8-7 half. Well, that was close to 8 rounds in a row from the Timbermen, so props to them for slowing down that momentum going into this half. It gives them a chance for the 2-0 to eliminate Timbermen from ECL. My name is John McCullough, McHenry. We have an A-rush on our hands. Snap with those dual Berettas is looking to deal the damage, but the flashbang followed up. Joel's can't double up. It's a 3v4 quickly as we entered into this post.
Bit awkward here now. They're stuck between a rock and a hard place here in CT spawn, but Snakes.
What?
He bails them out big time with a double up. And now it's up to Stamina to hold down the line on the site, which he does nicely, but a quick headshot dispatches of him. And it's not planted for CT. So it's going to force Snakes up into the open there, and on top of the triple box right there, Darrow strike with 2. It's going to be a winning pistol round right there from Timberman. An excellent recovery from the man himself.
Yeah, Stamina overheating just a little bit there. Gives Dare the opportunity for the clutch. Boy, has this guy just been clutching up a storm. Giving his team opportunities into these rounds. And there's another one. It moves to 9-7, but the bomb plant for this T side will allow a rebuy to roll through. So, Galil's galore. As Timbermen, they'll purchase up their fair share of rifles, but these type of rounds typically stand on even footing.
That was a wild recovery that we just saw from Timberman right there in that first half. I'm wondering if it was too much to bounce back from here. T side here can still show some real strength, especially with shots like that raining on out, but gonna put a lot of emphasis on gathering back that momentum in their favor, because they've lost it big time in the tail end of that half, right? Like you said, nearly 8 rounds in a row, so they need to figure out a way to start stringing things together.
Oh, but it's not going well. This A site's been picked apart. Snap's position noted as well, just as he jumps up. Never drops him from A main, and if Shane in a 1v4, he's actually going to give this a go. Infinite on 4, Rollins does not land properly. Just a lick of that flame, and Infinite could have gone down. But simply said, this surely has to be a save. As the re-smoke is there. And again, the momentum now gutted for Timberman, as we're going to see a force buy taken here by Strife.
Yeah, the force buy works out. Bomb plant always does a whole lot. Makes these rounds so incredibly difficult to win. And you can see why. Good map control, good utility usage. And honestly, Timberman, they didn't have a whole lot of resources to even fight middle for the most part. So, a bit of a brutal affair, but that's kind of how the cookie crumbles. That's the liability that you sometimes play with when you go for more retake setups there. It does make those second rounds tricky. And Strife got to capitalize on that. Using those HKs to their full ability here is a rare force buy seen out of Timbermen. They're going for the full investment here.
And this is really putting a lot on this early game in the second half. The CT sides on their Mirage has not been rock solid. Just barely able to squeak out 6 rounds. But that's a start. Era's got out with utility, discounting that underpass position. Puts Frankie into a bit of a bind, though, as he's the only player here on the B site. And he's holding out for a good while as he steals a kill back. Man advantage rolling for Timberman.
Snav just huddled in towards market right now, waiting for his teammates to come through. That flashbang doesn't trigger Stamina's aggression. There's no counter flashes either. He's just going to walk into the headshot of Dare right there. It's all on the back of Infinite here in a 1v3. And Snav dispatches of him easily. Timberman answer back there without a question. Wasn't even close right there. Retake gets completely shut down, and Timberman They get onto double digits. The force by wars are in full effect right now.
I'm going to be a critical Kyle once again, but I feel like that peak from Stamina was incredibly telegraphed. Just because the flash and the angle that it came through on, especially with market windows still being smoked, what do the market players have to even look at? They're all staring at the door because there's nothing better to look at, so Stamina just swings into multiple players' crosshairs. In that 2v3, not winnable, but the Force by Wars are going to start off now. It's a bit of a scrappy game, as it always has been. And we're seeing the sneak up here in the apartments. Knock, knock on the B site once again. Leaping in, though. Back turn to Frankie. Now Shane's turn to start fragging up a storm. The spray down is there. This execute shutdown. There is Joel's on the cat lurk, but too late. Shane has demolished your whole team. Timberman back in the driver's seat.
Full focus right there on that execute to deal with Shane, but there was another man right there assembling a crossfire. Strife just walked right on into it. One by one. There's a good little bit of utility there, but I think timed maybe not to perfection. And you could see that Shane was able to, play off his teammate there pretty effectively on catwalk there. So, Timberman just put through a very solid round. Super concise. Frankie needs to run boost out towards the middle, but he's singing for a little bit.
Oh my.
Joel's. Let's trade things out, but there, he's good for 2.
Oh, that flash assist feels good, doesn't it? When that all shows up in the feed. Shane, 3 flash assists to his name. That'll help out the HLTV statisticians. As Timberman, they're on the warpath just to close out this game. Talk about these shaky CT sides. If you just take the brawl to your opponent, these rounds end quickly. Not a lot can go wrong. It's either, it's either these rounds are incredibly quick, no time for mistakes, or, it's one big mistake and the round's over. But right now, Timberman, if they're feeling it, they're going for these plays. That's what I like to see. And Frankie, this time, is bested. Joel's good on the swing. Really interesting mid-utility put in here. A one-way for middle. Trying to lure Dare into that swing. After all things settled, though, it's a man advantage for Strife.
You can see Snav trying to pull things back there with a little bit of aggression. Shane flashed on in there around the corner. Again, when we talk about telegraphed plays right now, I think that flash setup might have been telegraphed just a little bit. Same case.
Oh my!
And oh, Shane. That is insane right there. 2 insane headshots come on through. But Dare needs to dance between 2 different angles here, and we'll see what he's able to do.
Oh, man, and he has support, too. This could just be a death sentence for Strife, leaping on into the site, into the jaws of Snav and Dare, but Dare goes down. He can't get his kill. Snav, his position is known. Here towards bench, he gets cleared out. 1v2 now for Droid. And Joel's holding the close angle. I wonder if Droid's been spotted. I'm not sure he has. Making his way out market window, unspotted, but then Joel swings, and Strife beat the setup in the 3v3. They walked into the stack site and came out victorious.
Wow. And this is the way it all kicked off here. I thought that, that sent so much fear in the execute there for Strife, right? But huge advantage in gathering that opening pick. That, all the heroics that come through there, still not enough. Because even walking in 3v3 there with that catwalk control, it's enough to bypass the aggression here as they boost one up in towards the ladder early, taking a bit of a different approach here on middle, more of a passive approach of sorts. After losing the opening pick in that last round, you can understand why. We'll see if that fear is going to cost him, as middle, or A, is already being exec on here. Droid showing his shoulder into Palace. Good for 1, and Dare's going to keep things contained as well.
And this round is essentially a shutout. Unless Joel's can cook up anything in towards middle. He's just pressed out from the underpass side, but about to be watched by Dare. Shoulder spotted, but just the bait. Shane, the MP9 at that range somehow got that kill. And we're looking at 13 rounds right now for timbermen.
Don't stay down for long, do they? The very next, they're able to reply here. Stamina goes for a pre-fire. That looks very close to the mark. But he's also revealed his position with 30 seconds left. Eats an HE to make his job even more difficult. Just peeks under there. He's going to fall with the AWP, and the money's kind of shot here. Map 3 looking all the more likely with timbermen mounting a beautiful defense so far. These gun rounds have heavily favored them. And this isn't even going to be a gun round. This is going to be, at the very best, a couple pistols upgraded upon here. Strife not really bringing much to the table in this one.
Last time these two teams faced off on Mirage, it was T-side dominance for both squads. And honestly, I was impressed with what Stamina was doing on his T-side. He wasn't able to lead his team to victory. They were down at 10-5 at the half, but some strong tactics that were able to come through. But it looks quite the opposite today. Strife on the wrong foot. Kind of shut down a lot of their executes, or they should have been shut down. All things said, timbermen have had the right setup for every single situation. But Strife have persevered in a couple of these rounds. Now they finally have to take the eco. Likely give up 14 unless Mega Swing gets hit here. Well, Snakes dies giving the run boost. And now support utility is here on the way. And, oh, well, Stare was looking to feast, but does eat a 1-dig, and the Glock runs up connector, drops another rifle. This time around, though, things will calm down as Frankie mows the rest of the Glocks away.
How quickly we get ramped up in a round right there just to get it ripped away, man. It's like they're messing with us at this point. Giving us false hope here, Strife. Quickly fall, but they did show their capabilities in that round. Some nice shots landed. Feels a lot like timbermen on Inferno, where they were able to put a scare into Strife, but nothing past that point. There's a molly inside it. Jumping right past it is Frankie here, getting stuck into this round early. And for good reason right now. Joel's is trying to pressure that con side, already taking control. Push and pull here established. They're just spamming a battle in between these smokes.
Imagine what a single HE and would have done to that mid-fight. You never would know. Just wait for it to happen. Quick 1-for-1 in middle, but Frankie is going to cap that off, sealing away that man advantage, and more from Droid, who walks through the CT smoke to bring it further into timbermen's favor. The bomb, however, gets planted, and Eris in a very awkward position. That Dare just plucks him from the sky. 1v3 for Infinite from this sandwich position. It's so awkward, and he's gonna get no-scoped. Dare is on fire, and map 3 is on the cards.
All of timbermen on fire right now, heating up big time. They grabbed themselves 15. They're on map point here, and all three, it feels like guaranteed at this point. Just like we saw in that last series versus E2s. This time, a better affair for timbermen on Mirage here is looming. Unless we could see a little bit of a resurgence here from Strife. Because we got the same scoreline on Inferno. But that does make this decider all the more exciting here. If those trends continue.
Pushing up. It's gonna grab Infinite and then make a getaway. This fake, whatever that Strife is putting into this round, is completely discounted. They even invested 2 smokes into this fake, but no one is even biting down at it whatsoever. This is just going to be utility burned for the most part. All that Strife can walk away with is some mid control.
And now they're gonna like line up in towards B, right? They're getting ready to execute, but all that information, it's forced their hand towards B, and then the rotations come through from Timbermen towards B as well. Deep jump spotting here coming through, and he spotted something, willing to get that util belt down. Now that Molly is going to disrupt. That smoke is going to do even further damage and disruption.
Hold on.
Eris is going to catch a rotate.
But he himself gets picked off, and with Droid still in jungle, and this is going to be a very haphazard take. Droid, he can mow them all down. First kill is his, and then the lineup is there from Snap. That's the map. 16-9, a mirrored scoreline this time around, and Timberman looking a lot more solid.
Yeah, that's a really good result right there. You consider the start of this game going down 0-5 there from Strife, pulling it back to an 8-7 half in their favor. That's key right there.